Welcome to Quantum Healing Meditation, Part 2, Emotions.
From early childhood, we live side by side with emotions, yet we rarely understand how they work. Why does the same situation inspire one person but break another? Why do we sometimes act on autopilot and then can't explain why we did it? Why do we cling so easily to resentment, even though it drains our strength? And the main question, if emotions control our life, can we learn to control them? There are many complex theories that explain emotions in confusing language. But if we look more simply, one main thing becomes clear. Almost everything we do for one reason: to feel safe and okay. A person wants to live, to feel life, not to lose their footing. That's why we often look for support outside ourselves: money, status, relationships, recognition, control. And the more strongly we believe we won't survive without these things, the more tension builds inside. You can think of mind as a shafus, as a sort of survival system. It constantly evaluates: is it dangerous or safe? Will there be enough or not enough? Am I accepted or rejected? And the mind's main tool is emotion. We can have thousands of thoughts, but often one feeling stands behind them. Emotions are simpler and stronger than thoughts. They are like a short signal that controls the whole body and behavior. Sometimes a person is sure they are logical, but if you look deeper, their actions almost always lead to one thing: getting a desired state, calm, confidence, joy, a sense of value. There is a simple way to see which emotion stands behind the desire. You ask yourself, what tono mashon, what tono boya, wash, and repeat it again and again. What do I need this for? You so things will be better. Yonti, what for better? So people respect me. What for respect now? So I feel more confident more. What for confidence more? So I'm not afraid. And little by little it becomes clear. At the base of many desires are fear and the wish to be happy. Have you noticed how often we don't want the thing itself, but the feeling we believe the thing will give us? If you look at emotions like a scale, it becomes even clearer. Imagine a ladder. On the top steps are light and strong states: acceptance, peace, love, joy. In the middle are neutrality and readiness to act. Below are heavy emotions: fear, anger, resentment, guilt, shame, apathy. The lower a person is on this ladder, the less energy they have, the darker the world looks, and the harder it becomes to build relationships and make decisions. They defend themselves more, blame more, fear more, and shut down. The higher they are, the more clarity, flexibility, calm, and inner strength they have. Have you noticed that in fear, the world seems dangerous, and in anger it seems hostile? In guilt, a person sees bad and guilty people everywhere, and in apathy, everything feels meaningless. But in acceptance, the world is perceived differently. Difficulties remain, but they don't break you. And inner thought appears: I can handle this. And that step is the moment when a person stops being a victim of emotions and starts acting. It also matters that thoughts in memory are often stored not by facts, but by emotions. That's why one emotion can trigger thousands of similar thoughts. If anxiety sits inside, the mind will replay scenarios again and again. If resentment sits inside, you will remember words and events. If guilt sits inside, the mind will look for punishment or prove that I am bad. And as long as the emotion is alive, thoughts will keep returning, even when you're tired of thinking. So it makes sense to learn to notice not only thoughts, but first of all the feelings behind them. At first, it's enough to simply ask, what am I feeling right now? Don't judge it, don't shame yourself, don't argue with it, just acknowledge it. That alone already helps, because an emotion loses part of its power when you see it clearly. But what should you do when emotions overflow? When a crisis happens and you're hit by a wave? In moments like that, people usually do three things: suppress, explode, or run into distractions. And if it all happens unconsciously, it usually gets worse. But if you do it consciously, you can reduce the volume of the emotion so you can later break it into parts. Sometimes you need to talk it out with someone close, so it becomes a little easier. Sometimes you need to switch your focus so you don't drown, and then you begin to let go of small details that hook you. Not the whole problem at once, but small attachments to a familiar routine, familiar things, a former role, expectations. This moves the mind into a letting go mode and lifts your inner state upward, closer to courage and clarity. When the emotion becomes smaller, its parts start to show. One feeling often hides another. Under despair there may be fear, under fear, anger, under anger, pride or pain. And when you see each part separately, it becomes easier to deal with. You stop feeling crushed by one huge lump. Inside, you get a sense this can be unpacked, this can be lived through, this can be released. And what about the past? Why do old stories still hurt? Because emotions remained inside, and while they are alive, the past seems to return again and again. Then an honest question appears. Do we really want to keep paying this price? Do we want to carry the same burden for years if it steals our energy and joy? Sometimes people don't speak for years because of something small, and only later realize how much life went into emptiness. And then another question becomes even sharper. How much longer? There's a part inside us that clings to negativity. It is weak, petty and exhausted. It loves to blame, take revenge, humiliate ourselves or others. It gives a short, doubtful satisfaction. I'm right. They owe me. I won't forgive. But afterward, there is emptiness. If you imagine that this part is leading you by the hand, where will it take you? To strength or to exhaustion? To self-respect or to self-destruction? The way out begins with us. These reverse step. Stop resisting positive emotions. It sounds strange, but it works. Sometimes people resist love, kindness, generosity, acceptance. They fear looking weak, fear losing, fear not being appreciated. So they hold resentment, thinking they are punishing someone else, but in reality they are suppressing love inside themselves. What if instead you find the opposite feeling in yourself, generosity, kindness, respect, and stop blocking it? What if you give that part a chance? When a person releases resistance to the good, they start to feel different. A desire appears to repair, reconcile, take a step, show gratitude. And the most important thing is this: the person themselves benefits first. Because inside Poyavla it's a self-respect, calm and inner support. Then happiness stops being something you have to dobivat outside. It becomes a state that grows inside. Over time the world stops frightening you the way it used to. From the outside, life may look the same tasks, the same people, the same responsibilities, but inside the reason behind your behavior changes. A person no longer runs from emotions and no longer serves fear. They become more stable, and a sense of inner bulletproofness appears, not because they don't care, but because they have learned to live through feelings and release them without razushai themselves. And here is the main conclusion. Emotions are not enemies and not punishment. They are a language through which the mind tries to provide survival and safety. But if we live in low emotions, we pay too high a price, case, energy, relationships, health, joy. So the most important skill is to learn to climb the inner ladder. Notice emotions, understand their meaning, break them into parts, and release what pulls you down. Then choice appears. And where there is choice, there is freedom. And perhaps the most gripping question to end with: if you can live a life from fear and tension, why not live it from strength, clarity and inner support? What do you choose today? Holding on to old pain or allowing yourself to become lighter?
To be continued.